From its possible release date being set for October 2023 to the M3 Max having a Geekbench score of over 16,000, these are all the insane details revealed about the M3 MacBook. The latest set of MacBooks is rumored to come out in just a few months. Insider reports have suggested that Apple's latest and most powerful MacBooks yet, the M3 models, will be coming out in October, and I want you to know everything before it does. The exact date hasn't been shared yet, but leaks say that the first products to be getting the M3 chipset are the 13-inch MacBook Air, the 13-inch MacBook Pro, and the next iMac. The announcement for this is expected to come around the 15th of September, which is also when the new iPhone is announced. Now, this is all a part of logical deductions, but why is Apple expanding the MacBook portfolio before all its other products with the M3 chip? It's because October's too soon for new and advanced MacBook Pros or desktops. But that isn't the only thing that's been leaked this far. The M3 chipset is highly anticipated because it could mark the beginning of a new world in tech, and Apple is rumored to be experimenting with this chip that operates with 12 CPU cores and 18 GPU cores. Plus, this new high-end chip is being engineered on TSMC's 3nm fabrication process. Other than that, many new Apple products with the latest developments are criticized because they come with faults and bugs. Maybe this is why Apple is keeping the launch date under the cover to not raise expectations too much. The M2 chip was released in 2022, so this will be the latest addition to Apple's mind-blowing creations that are pushing the boundaries of what tech can achieve. It is possible they take out a limited edition color for this special MacBook too. I reckon it could be red, because they haven't done that color before for a MacBook. It's also been leaked that while the current M-series chips were using TSMC's 5nm technology, the update to M3 will use 3 nanometers. If you want me to explain what that means in layman's terms, it basically suggests that we should expect huge updates in power and efficiency. Think of it as the most powerful laptop made so far.
Bare minimum level of information that we need to provide somebody a service. And we see privacy as this issue that is the issue of the century.
Reports also suggest that manufacturing has been in process since 2022, so it's been a long time coming. M3 is rumored to have up to 4 gigahertz of speed and be the most energy-efficient MacBook until now. Now, if any one of you has a MacBook M1 or M2, you would know that if you use the laptop sparingly throughout the day, you might not even have to carry your charger. And how insane is it that it gets even better with M3? Because even on constant use, the battery powers through for 10 hours. That's you going a whole day of work with one battery charge? Doesn't seem real, does it? But Apple's always remained ahead of the curve, and this time is no different. The M3 chipset is also expected to come with advanced security features and the capacity to support multiple displays.
And that I needed to do something, and that where I valued my privacy significantly.
It's going to outperform all its predecessors and also be the most heavy-duty laptop known to man. Did you also know that the new MacBooks will be coming with an OLED tandem stack in the display? This will greatly boost the MacBook by improving the brightness, which is where you can find me unimpressed, because I'm a keep the display dim person. But along with that, it'll increase the display's lifespan and supposedly improve power consumption by around 30%. But despite all this info, one question that does come to mind is, will this M3 MacBook be worth it? For example, if somebody wants to switch their laptop right now, should they wait for M3 or purchase M2? I'm going to help you make this decision by comparing what is expected from M3 with what M2 already offers. Insider scoops have shared that Apple's latest M3 chip will feature up to 4 dies, which can support up to 40 compute cores. Now compare this to the OG M1, which has an 8-core CPU, and the M1 Pro and Max, which have 10-core CPUs. So the numbers alone should explain that you're in for an incredible treat when it comes to performance with the M3 MacBook. If you compare this to the latest MacBook right now, which is the M2 Pro, it's going to be left behind by an increase of 2 CPU cores, 2 GPU cores, and 4 GB of memory with the M3 silicone chip. For the simpletons, this just means faster, better, stronger, and more efficient. So then it all boils down to individual needs. If your work is tough, like a programmer who works with heavy software, in that case, M3 will be worth it for you. But if you're like a student or have a regular job without heavy tech requirements, M2 or even M1 would be a major upgrade for you. In fact, some would even argue that Apple's M2 comes pretty close to M3. And here's how. Apple's base M2 Pro chip runs on 10 CPU cores, 16 GPU cores, and up to 32 GB of RAM. This isn't close to M3, but guess what is? It's upgraded version. You can choose to opt for the version which gives 2 more CPU cores and 3 GPU ones, which basically means that the M3 Pro chip is a slightly better version of the maxed out M2 Pro. So if you want something that comes close to it but doesn't have the same hefty price tag, it also boils down to the possible price of the new release, which brings me to Apple and its super duper pricing strategy for new launches. Apple positions itself as the master of the tech universe, so when it's time to unveil something fresh and fantastic like the M3 MacBook, they have a secret weapon up their sleeve, the premium but worth it approach. It's never what you call budget-friendly, but don't lose hope. Apple's a genius in how they make you and I feel like we're investing in a piece of the future. They hype up the features like the jaw-dropping performance, and people fall for it. They've got a way of making you feel like you're not just buying a product, but joining an exclusive club of visionaries. It's like being invited to the coolest party in town, and you can't resist RSVPing yes. You and I both know that people will start living on the streets outside when the new iPhone launches, and this time around won't be any different. So when Apple unleashes the M3 chip-powered MacBook, you can expect the same hook, line, and sinker approach. Fans are expecting that the new M3 MacBook might hit the shelves for $1199 in the US market, which was the same price as the M2 MacBook Air when it launched. But if we're thinking of the smaller models, then maybe the price would be touching $1099 or $999. Take it with a grain of salt though, because Apple does have a product announced to retail for almost $6,000, and you can't put anything past them. They know people love their products, and they continue to push the margin, which brings me to the fan anticipation for this new release. You'd be surprised at how many people are waiting for this launch. Apple fans are practically on the edge of their seats, tapping their fingers and constantly hunting the internet for more leaks or a sign of the date of release. Why all the excitement, you ask? Well, I just told you. The M1 and M2 chip already blew everyone's minds with their lightning-fast performance and incredible efficiency. So naturally, the M3 chip is expected to be the next level of mind-blowing awesomeness. It's like waiting for the sequel to your favorite blockbuster movie. You just know it's going to be epic. I, for one, am thinking about the sound and audio quality on that laptop. How amazing would that be? Plus, now, when we look at how its single-core performance has evolved over time, we're seeing some cool progress. Each year, the M-series chips have been getting about 9 to 10% faster in a test called Geekbench 6.1. And when it comes to handling multiple tasks at once, the improvement has been even better, around 15 to 20% each year. If the M3 gets a single-core score of around 2900, it'll be on par with Intel's 13th generation CPUs. Those are the chips that power some powerful computers. But you know what? Intel and AMD have been working hard to get faster too. So Apple needs to make the M3 a real speed demon to stay ahead. When it comes to juggling lots of tasks, we're expecting the M3 to get a Geekbench score of over 11,000. And if we're talking about the M3 Max, we expect it to get a score of over 16,000. That's pretty cool for a laptop, but still not quite as fast as the best desktop CPUs out there. The M3 MacBook's shaping up to be a real powerhouse, but it's got some tough competition. Fingers crossed for an epic performance. So, from the M3 Max having a Geekbench score of over 16,000 to its possible release date being set for October 2023, those were all the insane details revealed about the M3 MacBook.